In chapter 6, we're going to talk about the principles of design. And a longtime artist once told me that the principles of design are taking the elements of art that we've discussed earlier and taking those elements of art and pushing them further. One of the outstanding uh, examples of the principles of design is the use of emphasis and focal point. And that means what the artist is emphasizing or wanting the viewer to notice. And when they use a focal point, they usually use directional lines, contrast, or placement to make you pay attention to a specific item in the work of art. One of the ways that a lot of artists do this is through the use of color. So you may see a gray and white print, and they'll put a red colored emphasis in their piece of art. When you're out and about, start looking at pieces of art and decide what the artist used to put emphasis on his work, and also note how they did it. Did they do it with lines? Did they do it with color? Or how did they do it? And that's an interesting thing. Another principle of art that I like to look at is the use of balance. And there's three basic kinds of balance. There's symmetrical, which means it's totally evenly balanced. Symmetrical would be like the scales that you see that have to do with a judge or a courtroom when they're totally balanced. Asymmetrical means that something's not balanced. So that would be like those scales. Think of them in your mind, only you put an apple on one side. And so one side's dipping down further, so that becomes asymmetrical. And the other type of balance is radial, and that's a perfectly balanced circle. And I always remind myself what radial is because I think of a radial tire and with spokes on it. And that's a totally balanced radial tire. And I hope you enjoy studying the principles of design. They're very interesting.